No, we all don't know everything. So there are certain things that they know more than we do, than how to manipulate energies. I mean, they can travel through time. They can travel to other galaxies in such a short time. They can travel through dimensions, different frequencies, even. What makes you think they can't necessarily manipulate energies in that way? I mean, there's even aliens that don't even need a ship that can travel through thought to go somewhere else or manifest or teleport themselves other places. So what makes you think they can't manifest corn or manifest apple or things like that? What makes you think they won't manifest certain things through their minds even at that? I just thought I asked the questions to think about this, because those are the things that I'm telling you about. And as far as water, as far as food is concerned, they can clone animals. I mean, I'm sure people took animals, and aliens took animals, and they brought them in on the ground and cloned them, or genetic engineered them a certain way so their meat could be a certain way or whatever, or they can make them super strong. As far as either aliens or soldiers, doesn't matter, of the humans. They can grow food as far as within the underground. They can utilize certain types of energies in order to do it. They don't necessarily have to use a sun to be up in the surface for that, or they can use the energy from the Earth's core itself and actually utilize that energy to make it grow, because it still needs heat and energy. Sunlight, that's what it is. It's not necessarily using the sun as the heat. It needs the energy from that heat that it needs to actually for the plants to grow. So that's how they're going to use it. So that's how they utilize it. So I'm giving you some answers that these people are not willing to give you for whatever reasons there could be. And I just explained that to you. And let's see. And as far as that's basically that. I mean, and also too, as far as how do they power up their systems. Like I said, they just use advanced technology and energy in ways that we don't understand yet. But we even have alternative technologies right now that need to come out in the world, that are not because of the pharmaceutical companies, the drug companies, the oil companies want to keep them intact so they can continue to make the money that they're making. That's the ideal thing. That's the thing that I'm telling you about. See? And that's what we need more of that. We need more alternative energies. In other words, if we have those alternative, it'll save a lot of time, it'll save money, it'll save a lot of aggravation, grief, and various other things like that. So, and I'm not saying whether the underground bases are real or whatever the case may be. I'm just saying if there was a possibility that those were real, which, I do tend to believe it, because I do believe a lot of things are possible. I've had my own unique experiences, which I'm not going to talk about right now. But one thing is for sure, if there are a lot of things more out there than just what you see in front of you or what you see around you. There may be even things around you that may not even be from here too, that may be near you. You don't even know it. You don't even know it. And also as far as extraterrestrials and ETs are concerned, there are two definitions for that. And I'm going to explain this to you because I did learn it from this one particular gentleman by the name of Stuart Swirlow, who was in the Montauk Project, which you guys could look it up at expansions.com. And he basically said that the alien is actually basically like us. It's basically an entity that's actually in a 3D form, three-dimensional form, that is. And it can only be stuck in a three-dimensional form, and it needs a ship, it needs a lot of things, it needs to eat, it needs to do this and do that. Whereas an extraterrestrial can be both non-physical and the physical. So basically an alien is just simply the physical entity, whether extraterrestrial ETs are both physical and non-physical. So they can be both non-physical and physical. And some of them can either be like have energy and stuff, it can be physical and can go anytime, or they can travel by themselves or whatever without a ship. And there are those that do need a ship, but the ships are very advanced themselves too. The computers are very advanced because they're advanced. But they're not just advanced technology, they're also advanced in spirit, they're advanced in the mind, in telepathy, and various things like that. In how they connect with the universe and how they connect with the forces and so forth. And that's how it is. How they manipulate the forces, manipulate the weather, manipulate the cosmos and things like that. And there are different levels of ETs. There's, it goes, we're right now in the third dimension. There are those ETs that are operating the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and beyond. Whether they're angels, you want to call them angels, you want to call them the gods, or various things like that. There are entities out there that operate in certain levels. So for you, Chael Sonnen, and for your friend to only think of only this reality here is really limited. Very, very limited. Very in the box. in that square little box, and I know you have your little conservative views, so I understand that, and conservatives only can be in a box. I know liberals are in a box. I know a lot of other people are in a box, so I'm not just picking on you and the conservatives. So no, I'm not doing that. I'm just doing those to those people who don't think outside of that box, who don't live outside of that box. You see what I'm getting at here? See what I'm getting at? And that's just it. You have to be willing to dig into the rabbit hole deeper. And not only that, but you need to have your cup empty up. Empty your cup when you do your research. Empty your cup when you explore. I know it's hard, and I know it's even hard for me sometimes to do it. But you have to do your best to be as objective as you can. Be as detached about things as you can. But I gotta warn y'all of something. When you guys do search for your own truth in your life, and if you run into something, you better be ready to face up to what you need to face up. You may run into something you may not like, or that may be dangerous, but you have to be able to learn to handle it. You have to be able to learn to handle it without getting crazy, or without getting, I don't know, lost. You know, you have to be ready for, if you're going to be willing to go for your truths and go for the rabbit hole, you better be ready to, whatever it's in that rabbit hole. And you may not love it, or you may like it, depending on what you discover, or how you feel, or how you react. That's why it's always good to have a good amount of self-control and have a good amount of self-discipline in your mind when you operate like this. And that's the thing. So, and also now there are some pitfalls that Chael Sonnen did mention though that I do agree with, and I'll explain that now. When he was talking about how people get abducted by aliens, all of a sudden they start having special powers because they were abducted by aliens that were probed or something like aliens or ETs. So I definitely wanted to reiterate on that because I do think that he touched on a good point on this. Now, Chael Sonnen, listen, you're right about certain things. Now, I'm not saying that it happens to everyone, but people do have been abducted. There have people who even contacted them. You know, there's people who have contacted the aliens, and there's people who have been abducted that actually have been abducted. They have had scars. They have had different things in their body that actually has shown the evidence, if you look at it long enough and with an objectivity, that there's something else that's going on that went on. And there's even some people that were not abducted, but they were asked to come with the aliens, and the aliens would take them to whatever star system that they would take them to. So, and that's the thing, and so yes, there are pitfalls of human thinking, and I want to get to that now. The human thinking, of course, that, you know, yes, there are some aliens that could probably help the human to develop this psychic ability faster with technology or with energy and so forth, but the truth is, we really don't need an alien to do that. We can just do it through our own meditation. We can do it through connecting with the spirit ourselves. So I do agree with you what you're saying, though, Shell, because a lot of people are thinking, oh, the aliens are giving us powers, yay, and everything else too. That's not how it is. If anything, if we have any abilities, it all came from the Creator itself. It came from the mighty Creator. It does not come from the aliens themselves. Even if the aliens were involved somehow, or spirit or devil or whatever were involved, it was still up to the soul level of the higher self of you, of who you are, your higher self, yourself, and what you made with the Creator himself, or itself, not herself or anything like that. In other words, it all came from the Creator. That's where all your abilities come. All our talents came from the Creator, no matter what. And a lot of people, and I'm sure, and I get this a lot from Christians and Muslims and various other religions, that, oh, it came from dark spirits, it came from evil entities. So what? Even if it came from there, it all still came back to Creator, because the Creator created them too. You understand that? So the Creator really, and to be honest with you, these aliens are, if you want to call them dark entities, or some Christians and so forth that want to judge them that way, even if they give them to you, they're not giving them to you, they're just helping you tap into something you already have from within. You understand? That you had those within you already. They just need to be tapped in. You know, the truth of the matter is we only use a certain percentage of our brain to begin with. So what makes you think that once we use a certain more percentage of our brain that we're not capable of doing this on our own? Like we have to evolve ourselves just like how they have to evolve. It's all a learning process, it's all a learning curve, it's all a growing curve. That's how it is. So, and as far as Chael Sonnen, like I said, you do have some great points on that, and I do agree with there are certain pitfalls that we need to be very careful of. And we need to have critical thinking when we go about these things. But I do want to reiterate that, you know, like I said, it all comes from Creator, no matter what happens. So even if it happens that a person was kidnapped or adopted by an alien, and he somehow develops ability, but the bottom line is, yeah, we can give the credit to an alien, but the real credit goes to the Creator, and then the soul that the person that was adopted had a meeting and had made up their mind with. Because on a soul level, we choose to come down here and have these experiences and contracts that we have anyway. And I know this may sound far out there for y'all. I know it sounds like woohoo, new agey and everything like that. But to be honest with you, it's not really as new age as you think. It's actually been very ancient. It's been around for a long time. You guys are just new and being exposed to that. But it's not new. It's nothing new. There's nothing really new under the sun. It's all been ancient knowledge that's just being reiterated as new age, is what it is. So I just thought I'd let you know that. And let me see anything else. So I'm not sure if this answers your question, Chael, to your satisfaction. I don't know whether it does or not. That's all right. At least, Chael, you're hearing an educated guess, an educated answer, and you can tell your friend what the answers that I told you, what it is. If they can't, if these people in the Pentagon are not going to give you an answer, I'll give you the answer, and I just did. I gave you the answer. Now I don't know everything. I'm not a scientist, but I do know what I know, and I do know what I experienced. I do know what I've researched. I've also talked with experts and various other things who've been in that field. Yeah, exactly. And there are resources down at the bottom that I put down for people to research. If they all want to research, it's fine. Research at your own risk. That's all I'm going to say on that. And wow, this has been I mean, like I said, it gets really deep, guys. Sometimes it gets so deep that, you know, it'll make your head spin if you're not very careful. But like I said, but sometimes you have to have some kind of a maturity level at some point to be able to handle certain things. And that's one of the reasons why the government don't tell people that aliens exist, because a lot of people have their preconceived ideas regarding from their religions and from the schools and things like that. But at some point, if you want to search for your own truth, you're going to have to expand your mind. You're going to have to be able to sometimes empty your cup. You have to become detached. You'll even have to become maybe even unreasonable even. Everybody wants to have their reasons for it, but sometimes certain things happen and certain things can be explained that doesn't make any sense. But it may not be explained. It may not make any sense for a certain mindset of the people or certain people that think averagely. That's why you got to think beyond. You got to think outside the box. That's why you got to think multi-dimensionally rather than three-dimensional and lower. Because if you just think in three-dimensional, you're gonna get lost. You're not going to find anywhere near what you're looking for or what you think you're looking for, but you find it and you don't know how to handle it. So, and you have to be willing to go where no man has gone before. I know this is a Star Trek quote, but there's a truth to that. There's a truth to that. So live it and own up to that when you get a chance to. When you are seeking your truth, you have to own up to it. So anyways, I hope this answers your question. I know I took a long time for this, but I thought this needed to be said. So, Chael, I hope this answers your question. It may not be for your satisfaction, but at least now your friend will get an educated question from a man who does post-fight recaps, from a man who likes to be on a computer, from a man who has dreadlocks, and who basically just looks ordinary. But am I really ordinary? Are we all really ordinary? That's for each and every one of us to decide on that one, so I'm not going to say it. So, any event, I'm going to get going. Wow. Well, it's getting a little, starting to rain outside a bit. Anyways, I will get going. Take care, everybody, and many blessings to you all, and have a great day. And see you next time. Healing, it is all that is.